The quantum pulse arrived without warning. In the observation deck of the Lunar Defense Station Alpha, Lieutenant Maya Chen watched as the familiar blue glow of Earth's orbital defense grid flickered and died. The carefully constructed network of satellites and defensive platforms that had protected humanity for the past 50 years vanished in an instant, leaving Earth seemingly defenseless against the vast darkness of space. She didn't panic. None of them did. "Signal Constellation Artemis," she commanded, her voice steady as her fingers danced across the holographic interface. "Authorization Gen 7 Delta 9. Around her, the command center erupted into coordinated activity. Officers moved with practiced precision, their movements reflecting years of preparation for this exact moment. They had trained for this countless times, though many had believed, or hoped, the day would never come. The Nexus Federation had finally shown their hand. Across the solar system, on ships and stations that officially didn't exist, other officers were issuing similar commands. The Eclipse Protocol, humanity's best-kept secret, was now active. Far above Earth's atmosphere, as the Nexus Federation's massive warships emerged from quantum space, their sensors detected exactly what they expected: a primitive civilization's defensive grid in ruins, their quantum pulse having disabled what they believed to be humanity's most advanced technology. Admiral Vrax of the Nexus Federation allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. The humans had proven surprisingly resilient in diplomatic negotiations, refusing to accept their protected status within the Federation. This demonstration of superior force would surely bring them to their senses. His massive flagship, the Eternal Dawn, led a fleet of 500 warships, far more than necessary to subjugate a pre-quantum civilization. Curious, his sensor officer reported, mandibles clicking in confusion. "I'm detecting unusual gravitational fluctuations throughout the system." Vrax dismissed the concern with a wave of his upper appendage. "Local stellar phenomena. The humans barely understand quantum mechanics. They can't possibly." The space around his fleet suddenly lit up with activity. Thousands of quantum signatures blazed to life, emerging from what had appeared to be empty space. The humans' orbital defense grid hadn't been destroyed. It had been a decoy, a primitive shell hiding something far more sophisticated. On the Lunar Defense Station, Maya allowed herself a small smile as she watched the real show begin. The Nexus Federation had fallen for humanity's greatest deception, the assumption of technological inferiority. For the past century, while humanity had presented a carefully crafted image of a civilization just beginning to understand quantum physics, they had been studying, reverse engineering, and improving upon every piece of alien technology they could access. The public orbital defense grid was merely the surface layer, a convincing facade hiding the true extent of human advancement. Eclipse Nodes 1 through 50, online and coordinated, her second-in-command reported. "Quantum field generators at full capacity. The Federation fleet is contained within the operational sphere." Maya nodded, remembering the words of her grandmother, one of the architects of the Eclipse Protocol. "The greatest advantage in any conflict is convincing your opponent they know your capabilities better than you do." The Nexus Federation ships now found themselves surrounded by advanced human warships emerging from quantum pocket dimensions, a technology the Federation believed was still theoretical. These vessels were the product of decades of secret development, their designs incorporating and improving upon every scrap of alien technology humanity had managed to study. "Admiral," Maya broadcast on all frequencies, her voice calm and clear, "this is Lieutenant Maya Chen of the Earth Defense Force. Your fleet is currently enclosed within a quantum containment field. While unsure you're confident in your ship's abilities, I should mention that we've had decades to study and counter Nexus Federation technology. I suggest you consider your next actions carefully." In his command chair, Admiral Vrax felt something he hadn't experienced in his entire military career: genuine fear. The humans hadn't just survived their quantum pulse, they had anticipated it, prepared for it, and used it to spring a trap centuries in the making. "Impossible," he muttered, watching as his tactical display showed human ships taking up perfect firing positions around his fleet. Their orbital defense network was exactly what we wanted you to see, Maya replied, having heard his broadcast. Humanity learned long ago that appearing less advanced than we are has distinct advantages. Your quantum pulse didn't cripple our defenses, Admiral. It activated them. Throughout the solar system, hidden installations and defense platforms were powering up. Quantum fields shifted, revealing spacecraft and weapons platforms that had been concealed in dimensional pockets. The Earth that the Nexus Federation thought they knew, a somewhat primitive civilization barely managing to maintain a basic orbital defense network, was disappearing before their eyes. In its place stood the real Earth, a civilization that had spent generations preparing for this moment, developing technologies in secret while maintaining a carefully crafted facade of technological limitation. The Eclipse Protocol was designed for this exact scenario, Maya continued, her voice carrying across space to every Federation ship. We knew eventually someone would try to force Earth into submission. We've spent centuries preparing, watching, learning, and advancing. Your attempted show of force hasn't weakened Earth. It has simply removed our reason to maintain the pretense. As she spoke, quantum sensors aboard the Federation ships detected even more human vessels arriving, not from hidden positions, but from deeper in the solar system. The humans hadn't just matched Nexus Federation technology. In many ways, they had surpassed it. Admiral Vrax, looking at the tactical displays showing his fleet completely surrounded by superior forces, made the first wise decision of the day. This is Admiral Vrax of the Nexus Federation fleet. We request terms for withdrawal. Maya's smile widened slightly. I'm glad you're being reasonable, Admiral. Humanity has no desire for unnecessary conflict. We will allow your fleet to withdraw, under escort, to the outer system boundary. However, the Nexus Federation's attempted show of force will have consequences. Earth will be sending representatives to the Federation Council, not as supplicants, but as equals. As she spoke these words, Maya thought about all the generations of humans who had worked in secret, maintaining the illusion of technological limitation while preparing for this moment. The Eclipse Protocol hadn't just been a military strategy. It had been a test of human patience and determination. Today, that patience had paid off. The Nexus Federation had launched an attack expecting to find a vulnerable civilization. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant, one that had spent centuries preparing for this exact moment. The real challenge, Maya knew, was just beginning. Humanity was about to step onto the galactic stage, not as a minor power to be patronized or protected, but as a force to be reckoned with. The careful deception was over. Now it was time to show the galaxy who humans really were. Commander Elena Santos stood in the heart of Facility Zero, 3 kilometers beneath the Pacific Ocean floor. Around her, banks of quantum computers hummed to life, awakening from their decades-long slumber. The facility, officially listed as an abandoned deep-sea mining operation, was actually the nerve center of humanity's most ambitious military project. Status report on the Lazarus grid, she commanded, watching as holographic displays materialized throughout the massive chamber. The facility's AI responded instantly, its voice eerily human despite its artificial nature. Lazarus grid functioning at optimal capacity, Commander. All 37 deep space installations are now online. Quantum shielding at 98% effectiveness. Elena allowed herself a moment to appreciate the magnitude of what humanity had accomplished. While the world above had gone about its daily business, facilities like this one had been operating in absolute secrecy for over a century. The story of how they had managed it was a testament to human ingenuity and patience. It had begun in 2047, when the first alien probe was discovered in the Kuiper Belt. Instead of announcing the discovery to the world, a small group of international leaders made a decisive choice. They created the Shadow Directive, a covert organization dedicated to preparing humanity for eventual contact with advanced alien civilizations. The rise of the Nexus Federation in galactic politics only confirmed their fears. The Federation's pattern was clear. They would approach developing civilizations, offer them protection, and gradually strip away their autonomy. Humanity needed to be ready, but not in the way anyone expected. "Display Archive File 7, Alina commanded. A holographic recording materialized, showing her grandmother, Admiral Sarah Santos, recording a message 50 years ago. The key to survival isn't just technological advancement. Her grandmother's image spoke. It's misdirection. We'll show them exactly what they expect to see. A young species still grappling with quantum mechanics. Meanwhile, we'll be building something far greater in the shadows." Elena smiled at the recording. The plan had worked perfectly. While Earth's public space program made a show of struggling with basic quantum theory, facilities like this one were pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. "Commander," the AI interrupted her thoughts, "we're detecting quantum signature fluctuations from the Nexus fleet. They appear to be testing our containment field." Elena nodded, unsurprised. The Federation wouldn't accept their situation without testing their bonds. "Activate the Perseus array," she ordered. "Let's show them another card from our hand." Throughout the solar system, hidden quantum satellites shifted position, creating an interlocking network of gravitational distortion fields. The technology was decades beyond anything the Federation had encountered before. Each satellite could manipulate local space-time, making any attempt at quantum jumping impossible within their sphere of influence. On her primary display, Alina watched as the Federation ship's attempts at quantum manipulation were smoothly neutralized. The aliens were learning the hard way that humanity's apparent technological limitations had been an elaborate deception. "Incoming transmission from Lieutenant Chen on Lunar Base," the AI announced. "The Federation Admiral is requesting a formal dialogue." "Good," Alina replied. "They're finally ready to talk. Patch me through to the secure quantum channel." As she waited for the connection, Alina reflected on the incredible effort that had gone into maintaining humanity's facade of technological limitation. Every public advancement had been carefully calculated, every breakthrough timed to maintain the illusion of a slowly developing species. The real advances had happened here, in facilities hidden beneath oceans, inside mountains, and in the dark corners of the solar system. While the world's attention was focused on modest space stations and conventional satellites, humanity had been building a network of quantum-powered defenses that rivaled anything in the galaxy. "Channel secure," the AI announced. "Federation Admiral Vrax is online." The holographic image of the Admiral materialized before her, his alien features unable to hide his mixture of shock and grudging respect. "Commander Santos," he began, his translator converting his clicks and whistles into smooth English, "I must admit, your species has surprised us." "That was the intention, Admiral," Alina replied calmly. "For generations, we've watched how the Federation deals with developing civilizations. We saw how you approached the Centaurians, the Proxima colony, and dozens of others. Each time, you offered protection in exchange for autonomy. We decided to take a different approach." She gestured, and the holographic space between them filled with images of Earth's hidden technological achievements. Quantum drives that could fold space more efficiently than Federation designs. Gravitational manipulation systems that could tear apart capital ships or protect entire planets. Weapons that could target ships through quantum space itself. "While we play the role of an emerging civilization," Alina continued, "we were studying every piece of Federation technology we could access. Every trade ship that visited Earth was scanned. Every diplomatic visit gave us more data. We learned from your achievements, improved upon them, and developed our own paths of advancement." Admiral Vrax's upper appendages twitched in what Alina's skin-up psychology training told her was a sign of deep discomfort. "The Federation Council will not be pleased to learn they've been deceived for so long." "The Council should be grateful," Alina countered. "We could have revealed ourselves by attacking your worlds, destabilizing your economy, or any number of aggressive actions. Instead, we're offering dialogue. As equals." She brought up another hologram, this one showing the extensive network of human facilities and ships throughout the solar system. What you're seeing is only a fraction of our capabilities. Admiral, the choice before the Federation is simple. Accept Earth as an equal partner in galactic affairs, or face the consequences of your attempted show of force. The Admiral was silent for a long moment, studying the displays. You understand this changes everything, he finally said. The power balance in the galaxy needed to change. Elena finished for him. The Federation's policy of forced protection has gone unchallenged for too long. Perhaps it's time for a new approach to galactic relations. As she spoke, more hidden human installations were coming online throughout the solar system. The Perseus array was fully operational now, creating an impenetrable quantum barrier around Earth's orbital space. The Federation fleet remained contained, unable to jump to quantum space, surrounded by weapons they hadn't known were possible. The Shadow Directive spent generations preparing for this moment. Elena continued. We've developed technologies you haven't imagined, defense systems you can't counteract, and weapons we hope never to use. But we've also created potential solutions to problems that plague every spacefaring civilization. We're offering the Federation a choice. Continue down the path of dominance and control, or work with us to build something better. Admiral Vrax's posture shifted, and Elena knew they had reached a turning point. The Federation would have to adapt to a new reality, one where humanity wasn't just another species to be protected and controlled, but a force capable of reshaping the galaxy's future. The quantum gates blazed to life across the Kuiper Belt, ripping holes in the fabric of spacetime. Through these artificial wormholes, humanity's true fleet emerged, ships that had been training and preparing in artificial pocket dimensions for decades. These weren't the crude vessels the Federation had observed in Earth's orbit. These were the products of humanity's unrestricted imagination and engineering. Dr. Kira Patel stood on the bridge of the EDS Prometheus, humanity's first dimensional dreadnought. Through the quantum-enhanced viewing screens, she watched as hundreds of ships similar to hers took up strategic positions throughout the solar system. Each vessel represented a different approach to space combat, innovations that had been developed and refined in secret. All ships reporting ready, Doctor, her tactical officer announced. The Federation fleet remains contained within the Perseus array's influence. Kira nodded, her attention focused on the holographic display showing the complex dance of forces throughout the system. The Federation ships, still trapped within the containment field, were about to witness the full extent of humanity's hidden capabilities. Begin Phase 3, she ordered. Authorization Patel, Echo 79. Throughout the solar system, massive structures began to emerge from quantum storage. These weren't weapons or ships. They were something far more impressive. Quantum engineering platforms, each capable of restructuring local spacetime to humanity's specifications. The Federation was about to learn that humans hadn't just been preparing for war. They'd been reshaping the fundamental laws of physics itself. Incoming transmission from Facility 0, her communications officer reported. Commander Santos is ready to proceed with the demonstration. Put her through, Kira replied, watching as Elena's holographic image materialized on the bridge. Dr. Patel, Elena greeted her. The Federation Council has just arrived via quantum jump at the edge of the system. They're requesting to observe our demonstration personally. Kira allowed herself a small smile. Everything was proceeding according to the Eclipse Protocol's final phase. Perfect timing. The quantum engineering platforms are in position. Shall we show them what humanity has really been working on? The platforms began their work, creating a network of controlled quantum fields throughout the solar system. These fields weren't meant for warfare. They were the foundation of something far more revolutionary. Humanity had discovered how to manipulate the quantum fabric of space itself, creating stable regions where the laws of physics could be selectively modified. Attention Federation vessels. Kira broadcast on all frequencies. What you're about to witness is the culmination of 200 years of human quantum research. We call it the Prometheus Protocol. The platforms activated in perfect synchronization. Energy cascaded between them, forming a lattice of quantum fields that encompassed the entire solar system. Within these fields, faster-than-light travel became not just possible, but easily controllable. The energy requirements for quantum jumping dropped to a fraction of what the Federation required. Impossible, one of the Federation Council members transmitted. The energy requirements alone would be impossible using your understanding of quantum mechanics, Kira interrupted smoothly. Humanity took a different approach. Instead of fighting against the universe's laws, we learned to rewrite them locally. She gestured, and one of the platforms demonstrated its capabilities. A small region of space between Mars and Jupiter was suddenly transformed. Within that zone, the speed of light itself was temporarily adjusted, creating a corridor where ships could travel at seemingly impossible velocities without the need for quantum jumping. This is just one application, Kira continued. The quantum engineering platforms can create regions where energy can be extracted directly from the quantum fabric of space, where gravity can be precisely controlled, where the fundamental forces of nature can be tuned to our specifications. The Federation Council members watched in stunned silence as humanity demonstrated capabilities that their scientists had deemed theoretically impossible. The trapped Federation fleet, still held within the Perseus Array's containment field, served as a captive audience to humanity's revolution in physics. Your species has achieved what we thought impossible, the Council's chief scientist finally transmitted. But why reveal this now? Why maintain the deception for so long? Because humanity learned from history, Kira replied. Every time a less advanced civilization encountered a more advanced one, the results were predictable. Domination, whether through direct force or economic pressure. We decided to take a different approach. She brought up historical displays, showing the careful planning that had gone into humanity's deception. While you watched our primitive ships struggle with basic quantum theory, we were building this. While you dismissed us as an emerging civilization, we were reshaping the very fabric of space-time. The Federation's attempt to force Earth into submission simply gave us a reason to reveal what we'd become. The quantum engineering platforms continued their work, creating a permanent network of modified space throughout the solar system. This network would serve as the foundation for a new era of space travel and exploration, one where the traditional limitations of physics were mere suggestions rather than absolute laws. We're offering the Federation a choice, Kira continued. Continue your policy of forced protection and face a civilization that can literally rewrite the laws of physics within its sphere of influence, or join us in exploring the true potential of quantum engineering. Commander Santos' hologram nodded approvingly. The containment field around the Federation fleet can be lifted at any time. But first, we need assurances. Earth will not be joining the Federation as a protected world. We're offering an equal partnership, with full sharing of our quantum engineering breakthroughs. The Federation Council members conferred briefly before responding. Your species has proven itself far more capable than we imagined. The Federation would be interested in discussing this partnership. Kira smiled. The galaxy was about to change, and humanity would help guide that change. The Eclipse Protocol had succeeded beyond its creator's wildest dreams, transforming humanity's apparent weakness into its greatest strength. Then let's begin, she said, as the quantum engineering platforms continued their work, reshaping the future with every passing moment. The Grand Chamber of the Nexus Federation Council had never been so silent. High Admiral Xena of the Federation Security Council stood before the assembled representatives of 1,000 worlds, her career and reputation in tatters. The holographic displays around her showed evidence that was impossible to deny. Humanity hadn't just matched Federation technology. They had been quietly surpassing it for centuries. The humans call it parallel development, she explained to the stunned audience. While we watched their public space program, they were building something far more advanced and secret. Every piece of technology we shared with them was studied, improved upon, and often completely reimagined. The displays shifted, showing the true extent of human advancement. hidden shipyards in dimensional pockets throughout their solar system, quantum engineering that made Federation technology look primitive by comparison, and most shocking of all, evidence that humans had already expanded far beyond their solar system in ways that had gone completely undetected. They call them shadow colonies. Xena continued. Entire human settlements hidden in pocket dimensions anchored to distant star systems. While we thought they were confined to their solar system, they were quietly exploring and colonizing the galaxy using methods we hadn't even theorized were possible. In the observation gallery, Dr. Marcus Chen of the Earth Diplomatic Corps watched the proceedings with careful attention. After centuries of hiding humanity's true capabilities, the time for full disclosure had finally arrived. The Federation's failed attempt to force Earth into submission had triggered a cascade of revelations that would reshape galactic civilization. Admiral, one of the council members interrupted, are you suggesting that humans have been present in our systems without our knowledge? Not just present, Marcus spoke up, his voice carrying clearly through the chamber. We've been learning, observing, and preparing. Every time the Federation absorbed another civilization, we were watching. Every technological advancement you made, we studied. And all the while, we were pursuing our own path of development. He gestured, and the holographic displays shifted again, showing something that made even the most composed council members stir uneasily. It was a map of human quantum observation posts, hundreds of them, spread throughout Federation space and beyond. Each one had been hiding in a microscopic pocket dimension, gathering intelligence, and monitoring Federation activities for decades. Impossible, another council member declared. Our quantum detection systems would have detected anything operating within normal space-time, Marcus corrected. But humanity took a different approach. Instead of trying to hide our technology within your detection parameters, we learned to step outside them entirely. He brought up technical specifications that made the Federation's top scientists lean forward in fascination. Humanity hadn't just mastered quantum mechanics, they had discovered entirely new layers of reality to work with. Their observation posts existed in what humans called quantum shadow space, a layer of reality that intersected with normal space-time but remained completely undetectable to conventional sensors. While the Federation was perfecting quantum jumping, Marcus explained, humanity was learning how to fold space itself. While you were developing better sensors, we were learning to exist between the moments your sensors could detect. Every advancement you made pushed us to think differently, to find approaches you hadn't considered. The chamber erupted in overlapping questions and demands for explanation. Marcus waited patiently until the chief counselor restored order. This reaction was expected. The Eclipse Protocol had anticipated every possible response to humanity's revelations. Dr. Chen, the chief counselor, addressed him directly. Your species has demonstrated capabilities far beyond what we believed possible. The question before this council is simple. What are humanity's intentions toward the Federation? Marcus smiled slightly. This was the moment the Eclipse Protocol had been designed for. Humanity has no desire for conquest or domination, he began. What we want is partnership, but real partnership, not the false equality the Federation usually offers to protected worlds. He activated another holographic display, this one showing the practical applications of human quantum engineering. We can offer the Federation technologies that will revolutionize space travel, energy production, and colonization. Our quantum shadow space techniques could solve your empire's logistics and communication challenges overnight. But this has to be a true exchange between equals. The display shifted to show the Federation's current territorial map, with its complex network of protected worlds and client states. Your current model of galactic governance is unsustainable, Marcus continued. You force developing civilizations into dependency, stifling their potential for true innovation. Humanity proposes a different approach. He revealed humanity's proposal, a complete restructuring of how the Federation interacted with developing civilizations. Instead of forced protection and controlled development, Humanity suggested a system of genuine mentorship and cultural exchange. The Federation's vast experience would be paired with humanity's innovative approaches, creating something entirely new. Your attempt to force Earth into submission revealed something important, Marcus explained. You believed you were dealing with a primitive civilization because that's what you wanted to see. How many other species have hidden capabilities you've never suspected? How much potential has been lost because of your protection? The council chamber was silent as his words sank in. The Federation's most basic assumptions about technological development and species advancement were being challenged. The evidence was undeniable. Humanity had found paths of advancement that the Federation had never imagined possible. We're not asking you to dismantle the Federation, Marcus continued. We're offering you a chance to transform it into something greater. Humanity's shadow colonies, our quantum engineering breakthroughs, our dimensional mechanics, all of this could be shared with the Federation's member worlds. But only if you're willing to embrace real change. He watched as the council members exchanged glances and subtle gestures. The Federation prided itself on being the most advanced civilization in known space. Now they were faced with evidence that a species they had dismissed as primitive had quietly surpassed them in crucial ways. The choice before you is simple, Marcus concluded. Continue with your current path and face a future where humanity's existence proves your entire system flawed, or work with us to create something new. The Eclipse Protocol wasn't just about protecting Earth, it was about preparing for this moment, when we could offer the galaxy a different way forward. 1 year after humanity's revelation to the Federation, the galaxy had changed more dramatically than anyone could have predicted. In the newly constructed quantum assembly chamber on Mars, representatives from both humanity and the Federation gathered to witness the signing of the Galactic Concordat, a document that would fundamentally reshape interstellar relations. Admiral Vrax, who had once led the fleet intended to subjugate Earth, now stood beside Commander Elena Santos as an equal partner in the Transition Committee. The chamber itself was a testament to humanity's quantum engineering prowess, existing simultaneously in multiple dimensions to accommodate representatives from every Federation world. The old saying was right. Elena mused, watching as delegates from 1,000 worlds mingled with human representatives. The best victories are the ones where nobody loses. The past year had seen an unprecedented exchange of knowledge and technology. Humanity's quantum shadow space techniques had revolutionized Federation commerce and communication. Federation expertise in xenobiology and cultural integration had helped humanity refine their approach to interspecies relations. I still find it difficult to believe, Vrax admitted, his translator perfectly conveying his tone of wonder. Your species hid entire civilizations in pocket dimensions, developed technologies we thought impossible, and yet your first act upon revealing yourselves was to offer partnership rather than dominance. Elena smiled, remembering the countless discussions that had led to this moment. That's because humanity learned from history. Every empire that chose dominance over cooperation eventually fell. We decided to write a different story. The chamber's quantum displays showed the extent of the changes already implemented. The Federation's former protected worlds were being transformed into full member states, each one gaining access to both human and Federation technology. The old hierarchy was being replaced by a network of genuine cultural and scientific exchange. Dr. Kira Patil approached them, her quantum tablet displaying the latest data from the integration projects. The results are exceeding our most optimistic projections, she reported. 17 former protected worlds have already developed their own variations on our quantum engineering techniques. It turns out when you stop suppressing innovation, species tend to surprise you. The biggest surprise had come from the youngest civilizations. Once freed from the Federation's restrictive protection protocols, many had demonstrated remarkable creativity in applying the newly shared technologies. A species that had barely achieved spaceflight 6 months ago had already developed a unique application of quantum shadow space for environmental restoration. The Federation Council is ready to begin, Marcus Chen announced, joining their group. Today, we make it official. The assembled delegates took their places as the chief counselor of the Federation stepped forward. The chamber's quantum field ensured that every word would be perfectly understood by all present, regardless of their native language or form of communication. For too long, the chief counselor began, the Federation believed that progress could only follow a single path. Humanity showed us the cost of this thinking. By forcing civilizations to develop according to our expectations, we stifled countless innovations and alternate approaches to understanding the universe. The holographic displays showed the new structure that would replace the old Federation hierarchy. The Galactic Concordat established a network of equal partners, each contributing their unique perspectives and innovations. Humanity's shadow colonies would serve as neutral meeting grounds, their quantum engineering platforms ensuring free and instantaneous communication across the galaxy. The Eclipse Protocol, Elena addressed the chamber, was never meant to be just a defense strategy. It was humanity's way of proving that true strength comes from diversity of thought and approach. Every species, no matter their level of development, has something unique to contribute. As if to emphasize her point, the quantum engineering platforms around Mars activated, creating a spectacular display of controlled space-time distortions. The very fabric of reality shifted and danced, demonstrating how different approaches to physics could coexist and complement each other. But perhaps the greatest change, Marcus added, is in how we approach the unknown. The Federation's old policy of control and protection has been replaced by something far more powerful: curiosity and collaboration. The Galactic Concordat was signed not with a single ceremony, but with simultaneous events across thousands of worlds, all connected through humanity's quantum network. Each signing was a statement of independence and interdependence, a recognition that true galactic civilization could only be built on a foundation of mutual respect and genuine exchange. As the ceremony concluded, Elena found herself looking at the quantum display showing Earth, the planet that had hidden its true nature for so long. The deception had been necessary, but the truth had set not just humanity, but the entire galaxy free. The Federation wondered why we hid our capabilities for so long, she said to no one in particular. They never understood that we were waiting for the right moment, not to reveal our strength, but to offer a new way forward. The quantum network lit up with celebrations across the galaxy. Species that had once been separated by Federation hierarchy now communicated freely, sharing innovations and perspectives that had been suppressed for generations. The age of enforced protection was over. The age of collaborative advancement had begun. In the end, the Eclipse Protocol had achieved something far greater than its creators had imagined. It hadn't just protected humanity or advanced their technology. It had catalyzed a transformation that would reshape galactic civilization itself. The future would be written not by any single species or empire, but by the combined creativity and innovation of all sentient beings. As the ceremony concluded, Elena, Kira, Marcus, and even Admiral Vrax found themselves looking forward to what this new era would bring. The galaxy had changed, and for once, change meant hope rather than fear. The dawn of this new age promised not just technological advancement, but a fundamental shift in how civilizations viewed themselves and each other. Humanity had hidden in the shadows to prepare for this moment. Now, stepping into the light, they had helped create something entirely new. A galaxy where strength came not from dominance, but from the endless possibilities that arose when different minds worked together in true equality.